Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I'm going to talk about how to use Chromaggus. Now, it's not the type of video I usually do. Usually I make a how good is Chromaggus video and really evaluate exactly how good it is, but Chromaggus is a card that it's really difficult to evaluate. I think in some time people will make a deck that will work, that Chromaggus will be competitively used in. Right now it's kind of like a funsy card because a lot of decks are just too aggressive and there isn't that much room for control, and Chromaggus really requires a very true controlled deck. So why is that? Well, the easiest way to understand Chromaggus is by comparing him to, I think, the nearest card, which is Ysera. So Chromaggus is a little bit better than Ysera in my opinion, which actually makes him a pretty good card, but people just don't generally play Ysera, and there's a very good reason for this. It's because it's just too slow. Chromaggus also has the added weight that for him to be better than Ysera, you need some additional card draw in your deck. Because if you play Chromaggus, even if you play him on turn 8, you have to have him stay alive until next turn for you to actually gain the benefit. For you to actually use Chromaggus in a very, strong way, you have to use Chromaggus at the same time on the same turn, draw cards through some means. And that's kind of hard to do because he costs 8 mana, but that's not impossible. You just have to design a deck around it. But if you design a deck around that, you're basically designing a control-y deck with card draw, which is like a slow deck made a little bit slower than normal. So those two things are bad. And because of that, he's not going to see much play, but I think he's almost competitive right now, and with the addition of the last wing of Blackrock Mountain cards next week, he might just push the tipping edge. Now, he's also a little bit better than Ysera if you make the right deck. Just because his stats are a little bit more threatening, he is a lot easier to kill with 8 life rather than 12, but 6 damage just about kills everything imaginable. Ysera's 4 does miss, especially against other control decks, and if you're playing against an aggro deck and you drop Ysera, well, you've probably won the game already, so it's not quite as fitting in the current meta. They're both dragons, they got all that kind of stuff going for them, sure. Chromaggus right now is kind of working in Paladin, and this is something that we talked about before Blackrock came out, because Paladins got the amazing Dragon Consort card, which makes dragons come out a little bit cheaper. And in Chromaggus' case, that makes him more comboable. So yeah, that's kind of a weird one. But if you play Dragon Consort on turn 6, you can play Chromaggus, and it's a lot harder to deal with Chromaggus on turn 6. Or you can play Chromaggus on a later turn and combine him with card draw. If you play Chromaggus and you draw like one card that turn, you double up on that card, that's a big deal, okay? There's a few mechanics that happen with Chromaggus. A lot of people say that his ability will make it so you don't really know how many of each card are going to be the deck. Now, that's not exactly true. You get clued in on that if you're really attentive, because you can see that the cards in the opponent's hand are actually paired up. So let's say he plays Chromaggus, it lives a turn. This is a very simple case. The opponent had no hand. Next turn, let's say it's a druid. Let's say he draws a card, it gets doubled up. If he plays the swipe, you know the other card is a swipe. You know there's a third swipe in that deck. If he has a lot of cards in his hand, if you just keep very careful track of all of them, which is really, really hard to do, but trust me, in tournament scenarios, it will happen. People will keep track of this stuff. It's not going to be that much of a surprise, but it does certainly change the game in some dynamics. It does make for some crazy possibilities, especially when you double up on some legendaries or you double up on some direct damage cards, because usually the direct damage cards, when you save them to go for face, you don't really anticipate that they have that many. Also, what's important to note is Chromaggus, when he doubles a card, the card that he creates basically is going to be golden or not golden based on the golden or not golden status of Chromaggus. So if you have a normal Chromaggus and you draw, let's say, a golden Ysera, well, you're going to draw a non-golden Ysera with your golden Ysera. But if you had a golden Chromaggus and a golden Ysera, you'd draw 2 goldens. If you had a golden Chromaggus and a non-golden Ysera, you'd get a golden Ysera on top of your non-golden Ysera. So it's some pretty fluffy, cool stuff to really, enjoy in the very rare cases, I suppose. I try to make this guy work in a Dragon Pally. This is the deck list here. I think the best way to design a Dragon Pally deck is based around not flooding the deck with a lot of dragons, which I think a lot of people are doing right now. It's actually putting in very few but very powerful dragons, because Dragon Consort, you know, you can save that ability for like way later in the game. So you can just Dragon Consort when you have no dragons in your hand. Who gives a shit? And then if you only have a few in your deck, well, you can tempo out with draw with Azirs if you're in top deck mode, or you can play a legendary dragon and do something in the same turn. And this is very important when it comes to these like super slow win the game by itself cards, like the two dragons in the deck, like Chromaggus and Ysera. So a few of the combos that work with Chromaggus have to do with draw that's already in play. And this works for a lot of other decks, but again, it just works better for Paladin because of Dragon Consort. So if you have like a Loot Hoarder, or if you have an Acolyte of Pain, you can just play Chromaggus on curve and then attack with those cards. So the in-play draw effects are very synergistic with this card. The problem is those cards are usually used to make decks slower, which right now is kind of a bad thing. Another card that I think is pretty decent is Blessing of Wisdom, because it offers card draw for 1 mana, which is pretty decent in Paladin. I don't think you could really do that in any other way. So you can play Chromaggus, you can Blessing of Wisdom something already in play, attack with that, then draw 1 card, and then duplicate that card with Chromaggus. Also, because of the cost reduction of Chromaggus, you often can protect him, sometimes with an Argus, sometimes with a Consecrate, sometimes the Divine Shield from an Argent Protector. You know, there's a lot of combinations, there's a lot of possibilities in this type of deck, and it works out pretty well. But this is the type of deck that you need to use Chromaggus with. And if you use Chromaggus in this type of deck, he's actually pretty good. There's a few ways to use this deck in not a Paladin. It's just a little bit difficult. So you have to have effects that either bring out Chromaggus earlier, or you have things like Innervate and Druid can work, because you can Chromaggus on 8 and then, well, you can like Wrath for 1, or you can Innervate something else to protect him. It's kind of a tricky card, and you need those kinds of, you know, acceleration mechanics that are just not all that common. Also, Chromaggus, if you use them in like some kind of Miracle Rogue, if you got the Chromaggus Conceal combo and you're playing a lot of card draw the next turn, that's also possible, but again, a bit unlikely. The absolute most likely deck is going to be the Paladin that's going to, you know, harvest the most potential out of this card. And, well, I think we're going to see people try. Whether they're going to succeed in the immediate future, we'll have to wait and see. But for now, I hope I at least showed you guys how this card is going to fit in a deck. And, well, because I did try him, I want to show you guys some of the sweet games I have him, because it is an awesome card. So enjoy the games. We'll see what comes from this card in the future, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. I wonder how this works with Faceless. It should stack if I had 2 of them.
Behold, my might has been shed.
I'll put it on your hand.
Alright, so I guess we won this one. I want to see if it stacks there. Oh, shit. Oh, it doesn't put a foil one, though. See, he gave me... I only have a foil Dr. Broom in this deck. Alright, so we'll do... Revenge. No, fuck Execute. We'll axe it down. Yeah, we're gonna need a golden Chromaggus. Extract golden cards.
Behold, my might has been shed.
Oh, fuck that thing.
Feel a little tingle.
I have no time for games.
Oh, are you kidding? Oh my god. That's hilarious. Okay.
What now?
Yeah, I do.
Put this apple on your head. Put this apple on your head.
Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty. Reporting for duty.
Not on my watch. For justice.
Alright. Not bad, not bad. I like Chromaggus. Did I just get flame striked? What? I'm gonna draw 2 of that thing, right? Okay. See, dragons, guys, dragons. I'm gonna draw 2 of that thing. Okay. I told you, it's good.
Check it, check it, check it, check it. I am ready.
Oh, damn it. Damn, we have lethal too. Fuck. Look at this, so cool. Dragons.
My shield for Argus.
Oh, well. Fine. I guess.
For justice.
Alright, what do we got here?
For justice. Not on my watch.
There we go, boys. That's some dragon synergy. I didn't want to take any damage on Chromaggus, because I wanted him to be safe from removal. I'm gonna mill myself? Maybe. Gonna have a lot of cards while I do it, though. Oh my god, are you serious? That's one fucking way to remove him. We have the dream there, but we gotta get rid of it because it costs too much.
Not on my watch.
So it's like a hand lock, I guess.
This is my
Reporting for duty.
for justice.
Job done.
Not
Reporting
on
for
my
duty.
watch. For justice.
Yeah, we have to not give a shit about Molten Giants. If he has 2 Molten Giants, he can play them both if he taps.
battle! My shield for Argus!
For justice!
He has a second hellfire. Damn.
Shields up!
Put this apple on your head.
Follow the rule.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Reporting to duty.
I guess we'll do Tyrion first though.
By the power of Ragnaros, I have
Oh, that's bad. We can consecrate for 3, which doesn't mean much really. Oh, we can equality consecrate. I think we just consecrate, honestly. Yeah.
For justice!
the battle.
Okay. I think consecrate by itself is similar to equality consecrate there.
I have no time for games.
Bring the pain. The battle.
Mind if I roll,
My shield for Argus.
Hey, give me that.
Drake. Drake.
Follow the rule.
Mountain Giant. Wow. That was a little rough. Consecrate and then consecrate. Oh my god. That is like the dirtiest lethal ever. Thank you, Chromaggus. Wow.